Okay, so this week we have somebody so special to me. This is my wonderful grandmother, Gammy.
Hello.
And so we are going to be making our very famous Russian tea cookies that Gammy has been making for us since we were like born, essentially. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be baking and talking. I really want to talk about a lot of the differences between women now and then women when you were in the
50s.
In the 50s.
Mm-hmm. I was a 50s housewife.
50s housewife. So I'm really excited to talk about that and the comparisons and differences. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, what do we do? You know this recipe off the back of your hand, right?
Yes, I should. Yeah, right? You're going to cream the butter.
I'll cream the butter. So we have 2 sticks of softened butter. So we're gonna put these because it all can go in the same bowl, right?
I'm in the same bowl.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, and then what do we do?
I'm going to cream them.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the recipe since last year, so you're putting me on the spot here, but...
That's okay.
You just kind of you can read it to me. You can maybe add the sugar, because
Yep. Add the sugars and the butters.
Yeah.
Butters, the dog named Butters. You're okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Recipe. Okay. Well, that was easy. I softened it so well, didn't I?
Yes, you did a good job.
Perfect.
Microwaves are wonderful.
I know. Don't tell anyone I use a microwave. Don't tell anyone I use a microwave. It's been sitting out for hours preparing. Just kidding. Okay, so add sugar, vanilla, and water. Add butter, sugar, vanilla, and water. Mm-hmm. Okay, butter, sugar. So we need 5 tablespoons of sugar. 1. Okay, so tell us about this recipe. Where'd you get it from?
Well, I got it from one of my neighbors, actually.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of a cookie that is very dry. Mm-hmm. And not everybody would like it. And the reason they call it a tea cookie is because normally it was best eaten with tea. Mm-hmm. Just the fact that it's so dry.
Yeah. And I remember every Christmas these coming down. Remember you would bring them down from Pennsylvania? Mm-hmm. In the same cookie tin that I have today. We'll show that here in a second.
Yes, it's a...
And then 1 tablespoon of water. Where'd that cookie tin come from?
Where did what?
Where did the cookie tin come from?
It's actually from Pepperidge Farm, because your grandfather worked for Pepperidge Farm, and this was given to me with cookies in it from Pepperidge Farm. And I just decided to use it. So I've been using it now
for forever, right?
Forever, yes.
Okay, we're doing good. Okay, so I want to talk about, tell me how you got married really young.
No, not really. I was 22. That's not young. Well, in today's world, maybe it's young. In today's world, 22 is young.
Today's world's pretty young. The comparison of people, if you heard of someone getting married at 22 these days.
Yes, it would be very young.
It would be very young.
22 in my era was like you're almost an old maid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about how you met Gamps, my grandfather.
Well, actually, I met him. He was dating my best friend the first time I met him. I had actually fixed him up.
What?
I was going out with his best friend, and he just got out of the Navy. So we were going to go to a special party, and we needed a date. He needed a date. So we fixed him up with my best friend, Mary, that I'm still in touch with, in fact.
Yeah, you've been friends with her for...
We've been friends since 7th grade, so that's how long she's been in my life. Mm-hmm. So anyway, my friend the first time I met my husband, her grandfather, he had fallen off a Vespa. He had just come back from Italy after 5 years in the Navy. He brought back a Vespa, like a lot of people do, a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
And he had fallen. He was down the shore, and he had taken the Vespa out and it slid and landed on his face.
Oh, wow.
So the first time I met him, he was all scabs.
Uh-huh.
He was all scabs.
Yeah.
So when I met him, I just didn't think that he was all that great looking. But anyway, my friend happened to like him, so they dated for a while. And then he went back to Penn State when he was going back to college.
You're originally from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, so he was going to go back to continue his education at Penn State. So he had told my friend that he would invite her for a football weekend. And that was really something in those days. If you got invited, it was because Penn State was 5 hours away from where we lived in Scranton. So I had already been dating someone from Penn State, a couple different guys. So I thought I was so experienced, so I was going to let her know what you do on these wonderful football weekends. So.
And how old are you at this time?
21.
21.
21.
Okay.
And so she was all excited, thinking that she's going to get invited. And what happened was, I guess, your grandfather was not all that interested in her, so he never got in touch with her.
Oh, no.
And so that was the end of that. And so go forward now to the next summer, and I happened to be in love at that point. I was in love with this trumpet player who was in the Army. And he had
You like those guys in the service, huh?
Well, I met him before he went in the service. He was an Italian trumpet player, really handsome. So I was waiting for him to come home, but I was in the meantime dating all these other guys. So, yeah, it was just kind of a floozy. So, anyhow.
You were not.
I was just kind of
You were just
keeping
fun.
busy. I was
Yeah.
just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I was actually taking piano lessons because I thought, I was in love with this trumpet player. It would be nice if I learned to play the piano. So I was coming home from leaving piano lessons, and your grandfather was going to night school. So we ran into one another, and he invited me for a cup of coffee. So before you know it, we started going out, and that was in June of '56. And in April of '57, we got married. So it was a very quick.
Yeah.
So we found out we were very much in love, and I totally forgot about the trumpet player.
Who needs trumpet players, honestly?
I mean, musicians, they're not the best husbands anyway.
Yeah, right.
So then, of course, Uncle Gene was born following year at State College. We lived in State College. Fell in love with the place, worked there for the Dean of Engineering for a while.
So talk to me about, so you're married at this point, you have a baby. Now, did you work when you had a baby or no?
Well, I worked when I was pregnant because I worked for the Dean of Engineering, and then Uncle Gene was born, and of course I wasn't able to work then. So
Now, were other women like working, or were they?
no, these were all college kids, all college girls, and I remember going to the basketball games, and I was the only one there who was pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yes, the only one there who was pregnant. So, but I did get into a sorority. It was a professional ladies sorority, and so I got to meet other women who had children and were not in the scholastic atmosphere. So that worked out.
Yeah.
I had some friends, and then when Uncle Gene was 3 months old, that's when Gams graduated. So I had pictures actually sitting in the stadium, and I had a little stroller.
Yeah.
He was in a little plaid stroller.
Oh my God.
And I had this really cool dress. It was white with black ribbons up and down.
Yeah.
And some photographer took my picture, and it was in the national newspapers.
Wow.
So
You're
famous.
famous.
I was famous,
Like.
so-called famous.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, that's very exciting.
Yeah. So it was exciting. Yes.
So fast forward, Gams graduates, and so hold on really quick before I lose my train of thought. Are we adding this in first?
Do you have all this stuff in there? sugar, whatever has to go in there. Isn't there salt and stuff?
The salts I just put in there.
Oh, did you put in here? This
is just flour.
Just flour. What does it say?
It says cream, butter, add sugar, vanilla, and water.
Okay.
Sift flour and salt together. I didn't do that.
Flour and salt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stir into mixture.
Yeah, okay. I thought it had to have something.
Yeah, so it doesn't. So we're just gonna sift it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have to get in the point where I can hear.
Do we need more water?
No.
It's supposed to look like that?
Here, let me just,
What?
my fingers and my hands are not clean enough. So I have to step out of here.
Are you gonna make a ball?
Yes, you could take, what you do is, yes, do you have a towel? 2 towels?
Yep, right behind you.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
We need to add the pecans still.
Yes, you do. Just want to be sure this is all good enough. Yes. Yes, I think that's perfect.
Okay, add pecans. Slowly or
Just take that one.
like half? So Gamps graduates and you guys move.
Well, yes, well, then he had to get a job. So we moved in with your great-grandmother, with Uncle Gene, who was 3 months old at the time. And then Gamps got a job working in New Jersey at Campbell's Soup. So then we were able to get an apartment in New Jersey, in Morristown, New Jersey. And
Now, when women got married back then, was the expectation that you have kids? Like, did no one really wanted to have a career?
no, I didn't know anyone who wanted to have a career. Everyone wanted to be pregnant and have babies.
Yeah.
And it was a whole different time, which in some ways is in some ways is simpler, because in today's world, I think women have it so much more difficult because they have like 2 careers. I mean, you have raising children, being a homemaker, and raising children, to me, is one big career in itself.
Right.
And very demanding. And if you're going to get a job where you're going to afford to have daycare, you're going to have a job where you're paid very well in order to pay for all of this.
Right.
So I started feeling sorry for those younger women who did all this, because I don't know that the men changed all that much. They probably did a little bit, but I don't think they did as much. As the women had to run the house, take care of the children, and then have a responsible job. They had to look good. So to me, that's very exhausting. So to me, I think it was easier when you knew what your job was.
Right.
I was one of those crazy ladies that always was dressed up when Gamps came home.
Yeah.
Always had dinner on the table. And of course, I got a little lax as years went by. Used to spend a lot of time at the swimming pool with the kids.
Yeah.
Then when it was time for him to come home, I'd just throw on a pot of water on the stove just to make it look like I was doing something.
Yeah.
And so, but Gamps was happy.
Yeah.
He was happy doing it.
Yeah.
See, now you need to about the size of a walnut. See, these nuts are a little bit bigger than what I would normally have, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So the way I do it is I roll around like this, and then you push. So it takes a long time to get that all congealed properly. So push, roll, and push, roll and push.
Now I'm going to have this on video, so now I'm just going to watch the video back next year.
And then you turn them. You can make these into balls, but they're much prettier if they're in crescents. And so then you put this on the cookie sheet, and they're a lot more delicate, so that if you're going to be mailing them, if you want to make them to mail, it'd be better if you just do them in a ball. They won't fall apart.
Yeah.
So you have the cookie sheet. We'll start putting them on the cookie sheet.
Yeah, let's put them here.
Oh, okay. Then you just transfer them over. So you can see this is going to take a long time. This is the part that is time consuming.
Yes.
Mine's
too big.
Yes, you could see the size of a walnut.
Size of a walnut. Okay. So, like you said, you were saying that, you would dress up for Gamps when he got home.
I don't mean I wore cocktail dresses, but I wore a nice casual outfit. And always had my hair done, my makeup on, and yeah.
Yeah. So, women today feel like maybe sometimes they don't have to, that expectation shouldn't be there.
You know what Gamps would say about when he would see some of the women? He said they looked like they were ready in 5. Ready in 5.
Yeah.
So he always thought I was different. But anyhow, he liked it that way, so that's what I was.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. So everybody wanted to, all the women just wanted to be mothers.
Yes.
And that was enough.
Yes, that was fulfilling enough and certainly time consuming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I always felt it gave you a lot of freedom because, you didn't have to do the wash at a certain time, whereas if you had a job, you had to be there. Your boss wants you there at a certain time for a meeting, you have to be there.
Yeah.
But no, if you wanted to do the wash on Monday, you could do it Monday, or you could do it Tuesday, or whatever. And you could set your own schedule, kind of like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, set your own schedule.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I always took courses. I always took enrichment courses. And had lots of volunteer work. Worked at the hospital. Worked at nursing homes. Once the kids got a little bit older.
Now, how do you feel about the modern woman today about maybe, not wanting to have kids and wanting to have a career instead?
Well, I think everyone should be able to make, if this is what they want, there's no sense in telling them they should be a mother if they don't want to be a mother.
Right.
I mean, you have to really want to be a mother because it's a very hard job. And, if somebody talks you into it, whether it's your mother or, your peers or whatever, I think that's a foolish reason to become a mother.
Yeah. Well.
Always get a puppy.
Yeah.
I say. If you want to have that maternal instinct come out and put it to good use, get a puppy, or 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Even. So, yes, you can always find a way to nurture.
Yes, always.
I mean,
always.
Women are nurturers.
Yes. Well, we are going to make these cookies, and we will be right back. So we've made a pretty good dent.
Yes, this is very time consuming.
Very time consuming.
So done with a lot of love.
A lot of love. So if you guys make these cookies for anybody.
Or if you eat one that somebody else has made, you know what effort it took. So treat it very nicely.
Treat it very nicely and enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to put these in the oven for how long?
20 minutes.
20 minutes, and we're going to wait till they're the perfect golden brown, right? And then we'll be back and show you the process of what you do with them and talk more
about life.
About life.
Yes.
About life.
Life. We all need to talk about life.
Yeah.
And relationships. There's nothing more important because I always say relationships are very complex.
Yes. She tells me that all the time.
All the time. That's my favorite thing, right?
Yeah.
Relationships are very complex.
All right, we'll be back.
Okay.
We did it.
Yay!
Yay. Okay, so they're out of the oven. We already did our little taste test, and they're not
No, they're
great.
not quite. No, they're tasty, but they're not the same as the way I make them because I use a finer pecan.
Yeah, so I just hand chopped my pecans. Don't do that. Use like an immersion blender or a nut chopper.
Yes.
All right, so now we'll just go ahead and because we don't want to waste them because they're still good.
They'll be good.
Yeah, but they're just
Don't
not.
tell anybody when you serve them to somebody. Don't tell them that this is not the way they're supposed to be.
Right,
And
exactly.
they'll think they're wonderful.
Right, no problem at all.
Just speak it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you roll them in the sugar, and then you let them cool, and then you roll them again.
Well, so I think we left off talking about relationships.
Oh, okay.
And your girlfriends have always been a big part of your life
Yes.
and very, very important to you. So what is, if you could give somebody any advice about relationships, what would you, let's do friendships first and then marital.
Well, to me, I've always had many girlfriends, and you can just talk to your girlfriend about different things, even things that you don't want to discuss many times with your significant other, whether it be your boyfriend, your husband, or whatever. And they understand. And it's good to have a couple friends that you can always count on in whatever kind of a crisis you might be going through. But I always like to pick girlfriends who have lots of friends because I don't want to be an only friend to somebody.
Yeah.
And I just like for them to have, a lot of other people to count on, to do things with, and I don't want them to be jealous.
Right.
If I go out with other friends, I don't want my girlfriends to be jealous. So I want them all to have a lot of friends.
Right. Okay.
And I always said, the more the merrier. If somebody else wants to come along, whatever we're doing, it's always good.
Yes. All right. Now marital. Any advice?
Marry your best friend. That's kind of cliche, but it's true. Because the sex is all wonderful and that very powerful, but you have to live. Most of the time is when you're not having sex. So you have to have a life together where you just like each other, you like doing things together, and you like being together.
Right.
And I always felt that I could do nothing with my husband and be very happy.
Yeah.
That's the person you want to find. Somebody that you don't have to be doing something to be happy with.
Right. So what do you think about the day and age of social media talking about sex? They have this thing called OnlyFans. You heard of that?
No, I'm not a social media person, of course.
Okay. Well, real quick, we're going to dip these in sugar again because this is the process. Scoot these over closer while we talk about OnlyFans. So OnlyFans is a website that people use, mostly women, to post either nude or pornographic material. Sometimes you just like show your cleavage and that's really it. And some women are making anywhere between $10,000 to $150,000 a month. Do you think that's acceptable? Would you be okay if I did that and making $150,000 a month?
Yeah, then you can make $1 million a month. That's okay with me. I don't know about the nude part.
Yeah, not into it?
I don't think. I mean, it is, something that you would want to do, but that's something I can't relate to because that's so different from from my bringing up and my time in the 50s. It's just, it would be
Girls didn't send Polaroid nudies?
No. No. No.
No.
I think your body is sacrosanct, and you should save it for the one person in your life that you really love.
I like that.
That's the way I feel.
What do you think about
kind of old-fashioned?
Yeah, I like it. So what's your favorite social media platform? You're a big Pinterest girl.
Oh, I love Pinterest. Yes,
Yeah.
But I'm not that crazy about the fashions. I mean, they're all the same. They never change. They've always got torn jeans and a sloppy-looking shirt. And,
Yeah.
nothing too great.
You should start a blog.
If I knew how to do that.
Well,
Besides,
good thing
I'm busy having fun anyway.
Yeah. Well, good thing you know a good media team that could help you. You know.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be out dancing or doing something fun.
Yeah. There you go.
So
I like it.
my favorite thing is to dance.
Yeah. You and Gams used to dance all the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. But we were fast dancers. But he didn't dance like salsa and all of that, which I love.
Yeah.
In fact, being Polish, I loved the polka. And Gams being 100% Polish, I didn't find out that he knew how to polka until we were married about 15 years.
Oh my God.
I found out he was very good. He was a very good dancer, but he never let me know that he could dance polka. What do you think of that?
What the heck?
What the hell?
Yeah.
I say, what the hell?
Exactly.
So, anyway, that's...
All right, so any advice that you're giving to young person, old person? What is your biggest life advice you could give somebody?
It's again, something you've heard all the time from many people. Live every day like it's your last. Mm-hmm. Take every day and try to make it fun. Mm-hmm. I mean...
And I will say, definitely, you are... I think I get a lot of my positivity from you because you're always very positive. And I think I've learned that from you.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think that's because people say that to me a lot. Mm-hmm. That, you're always so positive and, and I was like, every time somebody says that, I think of you because...
Well, I think your mom is also.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's very positive. And
very positive.
Maybe I gave some of that to her.
For sure.
But yes.
And we'll have her on one time.
Okay, yes, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. Get to see the whole family.
Yeah.
Each generation.
Yeah, each generation. Have us all on here.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Do a podcast with the three of us.
Mm-hmm. That would be fun.
Yeah.
We're the triumvirate.
Yeah, right.
She said, my daughter's my angel.
Here she is. She's going to come in.
She's my angel.
Mom, come in.
And this is my angel's angel.
Yeah, come in here.
Yes.
Why do you
have to be on the video.
Oh, no, I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, really quick. You got to do a quick appearance.
Come on. Quick.
Come on.
Here. Come over here. Quick. Come over here.
This is a gem. All right.
Hey, darling.
Hello.
Here she is.
We are.
Wow.
We are triumvirate.
Yes. So we made cookies and they're not good.
Why?
No.
Yeah, because I messed up and hand chopped the.
She didn't have a chopper to make them really fine.
Yeah.
So they're
Okay,
thick.
so we just did one piece of life advice that you would give to somebody.
On what?
Let's
On
do,
life.
on life.
Living a happy life.
Living a happy life.
Drink lots of wine.
Perfect. There you have it, folks.
And that too.
That too. Have good family.
Oh, yeah. But the wine's better.
Yeah, good family, good friends. Yeah. Do you want to try it on Kill? So I'll try one on camera.
Yeah, you try one.
You try it.
You said they aren't good.
Well, I mean, it's not that they're bad. They're just not as good as what they should be.
They're better when they're dry or when they're cool.
Right.
Okay, try one.
You can see that they're heavier.
Holy shit.
Milk from my mouth.
Jeez. Not good.
They're dry.
Well, they're supposed to be dry.
Not that dry.
No. I didn't think that was the problem.
All right, folks. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Happy holidays. It'll probably be after the holidays. Happy New Year. Great 2023. We'll have these two on in the future.
Definitely.
Peace and love.
Exactly. What is this for?
Huh?
What's
My
this for?
podcast.
Oh.